The rain hits like fists. Darnell's wipers can't keep up. Water sheets across the windshield, turning streetlights into bleeding stars. He sits in his Ford, engine idling, watching the storm drown Atlanta's west side. The grocery store behind him closed 10 minutes ago. He should go home. Naya's waiting. But then he sees her. Across the street, under a bus shelter with half its roof missing. A woman stands perfectly still while the world moves around her. Two small boys cling to her legs, faces buried in her soaked jeans. They're crying. She's not. Her head tilts at the wrong angle, listening instead of looking. Dark glasses catch the flicker of a dying street lamp. She's blind. Darnell's hand finds the door handle before his brain catches up. He grabs his jacket, his umbrella, runs through water that's already ankle-deep. "Ma'am." His voice cuts through thunder. "Ma'am, you okay?" She flinches, turns toward his voice, but not quite at him. Her hands tighten on the boy's shoulders. "Please." Her voice shakes. "I just need to find a shelter. They told me it was near here. My boys are cold." "Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." Darnell looks down. The twins can't be more than 3. Their shoes are falling apart, soles flapping with each step. Their clothes stick to skin that's going pale from cold. "That shelter closed last month," he says. Softer now. "Budget cuts." Her face crumples. Just for a second. Then she pulls it back together, jaw tight. "Then we'll wait for the next bus." Ain't no buses running in this. Darnell opens the umbrella over her head. Water pours off the edges. "You and your kids need to come with me. Get dry. Get warm." She doesn't move. Her fingers dig into her son's shoulders. People don't just help like that. The way she says it. Like she's learned that lesson the hard way. "Well." Darnell crouches down so the boys can see his face. Maybe they should. One of the twins peeks out from behind his mother's leg, eyes red from crying. Darnell smiles at him. "You like cookies?" he asks. The boy nods. Tiny. Uncertain. The woman's breath catches. Her hands are shaking now. Not from cold. "Why?" she whispers. Darnell stands. "Because 3 years ago, someone helped me when I had nothing. And I'm still here." The silence stretches. Rain drums on the umbrella. Thunder rolls somewhere distant. Then she nods. "Okay." Darnell guides them toward his truck, one hand hovering near her elbow without touching. She moves carefully, each step deliberate. The boys stumble, exhausted, and he scoops one up without asking. The kid's head drops onto his shoulder immediately. "What's your name?" Darnell asks as he unlocks the passenger door. She hesitates. Like even that's a risk. "Alara," she finally says. "Alara Monroe." He doesn't recognize it. Doesn't think twice about it. "I'm Darnell. And you're safe now." She climbs into the truck, pulling her other son onto her lap. Darnell closes the door and jogs around to the driver's side. Inside, the cab smells like old coffee and his daughter's strawberry lip gloss. Normal things. Safe things. He starts the engine. Heat blasts from the vents. In the rearview mirror, he catches Alara's reflection. She's staring straight ahead, seeing nothing, but her jaw is trembling. Like she's trying not to cry. Or like she's terrified of what happens next. What would you do if you saw someone struggling in the rain? Drive past or stop to help? The apartment smells like the chicken Darnell burned earlier trying to cook dinner one-handed while helping Naya with homework. He unlocks the door, steps aside to let Alara through. 3 steps up, he says. Then straight for about 6 feet. Couch is on your left. She counts under her breath. Moves forward with her hand outstretched. Finds the armrest. Sits. Doesn't lean back. The twins huddle against her, dripping puddles onto his floor. She touches their faces, checking, making sure they're real and whole. "Daddy." Naya appears from the hallway, 8 years old with her mother's eyes and his stubborn chin. She stops when she sees the strangers. "Hey, baby girl." Darnell peels off his soaked jacket. "We got some folks staying tonight. They need help." Naya looks at Alara, at the twins, at the water pooling under their feet. Then she disappears into her room. Alara's shoulders tense. "I'm sorry. We can leave if." "Naya's getting towels," Darnell says. "And probably her stuffed animals. Kid's got a big heart." Sure enough, Naya returns with an armful of towels and her favorite teddy bear. She walks straight to the twins, crouches down. "You guys want cookies?" she asks. "I got Oreos." The boys look up at their mother. Alara nods. "Go ahead, babies." Naya takes their hands, leads them to the kitchen table. Darnell watches his daughter pull out the cookie jar, grab 3 cups for milk, moving through the routine of kindness like it's natural, like it's easy. His chest aches. Her mother would have been proud. He turns back to Alara. She's sitting rigid, hands folded in her lap, still wearing her wet clothes, still not touching the couch cushions like she might stain them. Bathroom's down the hall, he says. I got some old sweats that might fit. Let me grab them. You don't have to. I know. He disappears into his bedroom, digs through the drawer where he keeps Shanice's things. 3 years gone, and he still can't donate them. He pulls out a pair of soft pants, a Howard University sweatshirt, brings them back. Alara takes them carefully. Her fingers brush his. They're ice cold. Thank you, she whispers. Towels are in the bathroom cabinet. Take your time. She stands, moves toward where he said the bathroom was, pauses halfway there. Mr. Darnell? Just Darnell. Why are you doing this? He looks at Naya in the kitchen, making the twins laugh with some joke he can't hear. Looks at this woman who's standing in his living room like she's afraid the floor will collapse. Because nobody should be alone in the rain, he says. She nods once, disappears into the bathroom. The door clicks shut. In the kitchen, one of the twins giggles. The sound feels wrong in this quiet apartment. Like joy doesn't belong here anymore. But maybe it should. Darnell walks to the window, watches rain turn the street lights into halos. Somewhere out there, someone walked past that bus shelter tonight. Saw what he saw. Kept driving. He wonders how many people it takes before you stop being someone's problem and start being invisible. Wonders how long Alara's been invisible. The bathroom door opens. Alara emerges in clothes 3 sizes too big, her wet hair plastered to her face. She's still wearing the dark glasses. Hasn't taken them off once. She stands in the hallway, listening. Miss Alara? Naya calls from the kitchen. You want cookies too? Alara's mouth trembles. Like those 3 words just broke something inside her. Yes, she says quietly. I'd like that very much. Have you ever felt invisible when you needed help the most? By morning, the rain stopped, but the damage lingers. Puddles mirror gray sky. Darnell makes eggs and toast while Naya helps the twins wash their faces. Domestic sounds fill spaces that VE been silent too long. Alara sits at the table, hands wrapped around coffee she hasn't sipped. She's listening to everything. The sizzle of butter. Naya's patient voice teaching the boys how to brush their teeth. The scrape of Darnell's spatula against the pan. You didn't have to let us stay, she says. You said that already. He plates the eggs. You can stop saying it. People usually want something. He sets breakfast in front of her. I want you and your boys to eat. That's it. She doesn't reach for the fork. I lost my sight 2 years ago. Car accident. My husband died on impact. Darnell stops moving. After that, I tried to keep his cafe running. Thought I could do it. Thought I could manage. Her voice doesn't shake. She's told this story before. The landlord evicted me last week. My husband's parents took the insurance money. Said they'd hold it for the boys' future. They steal from you. They said I wasn't fit to manage money. Said I was unstable. She finally picks up the fork. Finds the eggs. Takes a bite. Then they stopped returning my calls. The kitchen goes quiet except for the kids in the bathroom. Naya's voice carries through the wall, patient and warm. You got any other family? Darnell asks. No. One word. Final as a door closing. He sits across from her. Studies her face. There's something in the way she holds herself. Spine straight. Chin level. Like she grew up in rooms where posture mattered. Where people watched. How long you been on the streets? 6 days. 6 days. With 2 toddlers. In Atlanta. You file a police report? She laughs. It's bitter. The police looked at me like I was lying. Blind woman with 2 kids and no fixed address? They said it was a civil matter. Darnell's jaw tightens. He knows that look. He's seen it on cops' faces when they pulled him over for driving through his own neighborhood. When they asked if his construction truck was stolen. When they made him wait in the rain while they ran his license for the 3rd time that month. Yeah, he says. I know that look. She tilts her head toward his voice. You've been there. Different flavor. Same poison. The twins run into the kitchen, Naya trailing behind. They climb onto chairs, reaching for toast. Alara's hands find their heads, checking again. Making sure they're fed. Making sure they're okay. Darnell watches her fingers move across their faces. Gentle. Memorizing. You can stay here till you figure something out, he says. She goes still. Mr. Darnell. Just till you're back on your feet. People will talk. Let them. But they already are. That afternoon, Mrs. Chun from 3B stops him in the hallway. Wrinkled face, sharp eyes that miss nothing. "Who's that woman in your apartment?" she asks. "Someone who needed help. She blind?" "Yeah." Mrs. Chin's mouth pinches. "You sure she's really blind?" "My nephew said some people fake it." For sympathy, Darnell feels heat rise in his chest. "She's got 2 kids and nowhere to go. That's all I need to know. Just saying. Be careful. You don't know her." She shuffles away before he can respond. That evening, he finds Alara on the couch. The twins are asleep in Naya's room, sprawled across borrowed blankets. Alara's hands are folded in her lap. She's not moving. "You okay?" he asks. "I heard your neighbor. In the hall. Don't worry about her. She thinks I'm scamming you." "She thinks everybody's scamming somebody." He sits on the other end of the couch. "That's just how some folks are." Alara's quiet for a long time. Then, "My husband used to say I had a face people trusted. Before, when I could see." She touches her dark glasses. "Now they look at me and see weakness. Or a trick. I don't." "What do you see?" He considers. "Someone doing her best in a situation that ain't fair." Her breath catches. She nods once. Outside, footsteps echo in the hallway. Stop near his door. Darnell hears whispers. Then the footsteps move on. Alara's hands tighten in her lap. "They're watching," she whispers. "Let them watch." But when Darnell checks the peephole after she goes to bed, he sees someone standing at the end of the hall. Just standing, staring at his door. Then they turn and walk away. Would you trust someone you just met, even if others warned you not to? The knock comes at 9 p.m. Hard. Official. Darnell's watching the news when he hears it. 3 sharp raps that make his stomach drop. He knows that knock. Every black man in America knows that knock. He looks through the peephole. 2 cops. 1 white, 1 black. The white one's got his hand near his belt. Darnell takes a breath. Opens the door. Darnell Rowe. The white officer doesn't wait for an answer. He's already looking past him into the apartment. "Yeah. We got reports of a suspicious woman staying here. With children that aren't hers." The words hit like a punch. "That's ridiculous. She's blind and we'll be the judge of that." The officer steps forward. Not asking permission. Taking it. "You got a warrant?" The black officer shifts uncomfortably. Younger. Quieter. "Sir, we just need to verify. I asked if you got a warrant." The white officer smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. "We can do this easy or hard, Mr. Rowe. Your choice." Darnell steps back. Lets them in. Because he knows what happens when you don't. Alara's on the couch with the twins. She goes rigid when she hears boots on the floor. Her arms wrap around her son's. "Ma'am." The white officer walks straight to her. Looms. "What's your relationship to these children?" "They're mine." Her voice shakes. "Got any ID?" "It's in my bag. By the door." The black officer retrieves it. Hands it to his partner. The white cop studies it like he's reading classified documents. Says, "Here you're Alara Monroe." "That right?" "Yes." "And these kids are yours?" "Yes." He crouches down. Gets in her space. "You sure about that?" "Because we've had reports you might be using them. For sympathy. For money." Alara's face goes pale. "Please. Don't take my babies." The officer reaches for her arm. Pulls her up. Not gently. "We need to verify." Let go of her. Darnell moves forward. The white officer's hand drops to his belt. "You need to step back. She's blind. She's got 2 kids. She ain't doing nothing wrong. That's for us to determine." He turns back to Alara. Yanks her arm. "Ma'am, if you're scamming this man." "She's not scamming anyone." Darnell's voice rises. The twins start crying. Naya appears in the hallway, eyes wide with fear. The black officer looks at her, then at his partner. Discomfort written across his face. But he doesn't say anything. The white officer pulls Alara toward the door. She stumbles. Can't see where she's going. The twins are screaming now, reaching for her. "Please." Her voice breaks. "Please don't do this in front of my boys." Darnell steps between them. "You want to take her somewhere, fine. But you got no right to treat her like this." The officer's jaw tightens. "You hiding her for a reason, Rowe? She your new project? You trying to play hero?" The words drip with something ugly. Something familiar. Darnell's hands ball into fists. But Naya's watching. The twins are watching. So he swallows the rage. "Just check her ID and go." 20 minutes. They make it last 20 minutes. Asking questions with answers they already have. Making Alara repeat her story 3 times. making her prove she's the boy's mother with documents she doesn't have because she lost everything when she got evicted. Finally, they hand back her ID. "We'll be checking on you," the white officer says. To Alara, like a threat, they leave without apologizing. The door closes. Silence crushes the apartment. Alara sinks onto the couch. She's shaking. The twins crawl into her lap, still crying. She holds them, but doesn't make a sound. Naya stands in the hallway, tears on her cheeks. "Daddy." Her voice is small. "Why were they so mean?" Darnell kneels in front of her, wipes her face. "Baby, sometimes people with power forget how to be kind. But you didn't do anything wrong." "She didn't do anything wrong." "I know." "Then why?" "Go to your room, Naya. Please." She looks at Alara, at the twins. Then she turns and walks away. Darnell sits on the floor, elbows on his knees, breathing hard. After a long time, Alara speaks. This isn't the first time. He looks up. She's staring at nothing, dark glasses catching lamplight. "People look at my blindness and think it's weakness," she says. "Or a trick. They see my boys and think I'm using them. They see me with you and think." Her voice trails off. "They see what they want to see." "And what do they want to see?" Darnell doesn't answer. Because they both know. The twins fall asleep in her arms. She rocks them gently, back and forth, like she's done this 1,000 times. Like it's the only thing keeping her together. "Thank you," she whispers, "for not letting them take my babies." "You don't have to thank me for that." She nods, but her hands are still shaking. Later, after everyone's asleep, Darnell sits at his kitchen table. He's looking at something on his phone. An article Naya pulled up earlier for a school project on civil rights lawyers. The headline reads, "Missing daughter of late Judge Alastair Monroe presumed dead." There's a photo. Younger. Different. But unmistakable. It's Alara. What would you do if the people meant to protect you became the threat? The apartment's quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator. 2 a.m. Darnell can't sleep. He sits on the couch where Alara sat hours ago. Can still see the wet spot where her tears fell after the cops left. She didn't make a sound while she cried. Just let the tears fall silent. His phone glows in the dark. The article stares back at him. Judge Alastair Monroe's daughter, Alara Monroe, 29, has been missing for 6 months following a devastating car accident that claimed her husband's life and left her permanently blind. Family sources report her estate has been placed in conservatorship due to concerns about her mental fitness. He scrolls down. There's more. The Monroe Family Trust, valued at approximately $3.2 million, is currently under the management of her late husband's parents, Richard and Patricia Covington, pending legal proceedings. Darnell sets the phone down, rubs his eyes. $3 million. The woman sleeping in his daughter's room, wearing his dead wife's clothes, was an heiress. How does someone with $3 million end up homeless? He knows how. He's seen it before. People who think blindness means helpless, who think grief means weak, who think taking is easier than protecting. But this is different. This is theft dressed up as care. The floor creaks. He looks up. Alara stands in the hallway, still wearing the sweats, hair loose around her shoulders. She's not wearing the dark glasses. Her eyes are open but unfocused, staring at something only she can see. "You're awake," she says. "How do you know?" "I can hear you breathing. You breathe different when you're thinking hard." She moves to the couch, sits beside him, but not too close. Her hands fold in her lap the way they always do, like she's trying to take up less space. "I'm sorry," she says. "About tonight. About the police. I brought trouble to your home. You didn't bring nothing. They came looking for an excuse." "An excuse for what?" He doesn't answer. Doesn't know how to say it without making it ugly. She nods anyway, like she heard the words he didn't speak. "My husband used to warn me," she says quietly. "He said people only see what they want to see. When we got married, his parents didn't come to the wedding. Said I was after his money. Said I didn't love him. Did you?" "More than anything." Her voice cracks. "He was the only person who looked at me and saw me. Not my father's name. Not my family's money. Just me." "What happened to him?" "Drunk driver. Ran a red light. Killed him instantly." She touches her eyes. "Took my sight, but left me breathing. I used to think that was mercy. Now I'm not sure." Darnell's quiet, listening to the weight in her words. "After he died, his parents showed up," she continues. "Suddenly they cared. They helped me through rehab. Helped me learn to navigate the world again. I thought they were making amends. They weren't. No, they were waiting. waiting for me to sign papers I couldn't read, waiting for me to trust them. She laughs bitterly. I did. I signed everything they put in front of me. Power of attorney, estate management, conservatorship papers. They stole from you. They saved me from myself. That's what the lawyer said when I tried to fight it. Said I was mentally unfit to manage my own affairs. Said my blindness made me vulnerable to manipulation. Her hands tighten. They made me the villain of my own story. Darnell looks at her. Really looks at her. The straight spine that never bends. The careful way she moves through space. The controlled voice that never rises. She's not broken. She's holding herself together with pure will. Why didn't you tell me? He asks. She turns toward his voice. Would you have believed me? Homeless woman shows up with a story about stolen millions? It sounds insane. It sounds like America. She laughs. It's sharp and sad. My father spent his whole life fighting for people nobody believed. People who looked like us. He'd argue cases for free. Win them. Make history. Her voice drops. He died knowing his daughter would be taken care of. Would be protected. Would have the power to help others the way he did. And instead they took it all. Everything but my boys. Silence settles between them. Heavy but not uncomfortable. I found the article, Darnell admits. The one about you being missing. She doesn't flinch. I'm not missing. I'm right here. You know what I mean. They declared me dead. Presumed. She nods slowly. Makes sense. Easier to keep the money if I don't exist. Darnell stands. Walks to the window. The street outside is empty. Streetlights cast long shadows across wet pavement. What if you fought back? He asks. With what? I have no money for lawyers. No proof of what they did. No way to even read the documents I signed. Her voice hardens. And I have 2 babies who need food and shelter more than I need justice. What if you had help? She goes still. Why would you help me? He turns to face her. 3 years ago, my wife died. Cancer. I had a good job, good benefits, good life. Then the medical bills came. Then the funeral costs. Then I lost the job because I missed too much work taking care of her. Alara listens without interrupting. I couldn't pay rent. Couldn't feed my kid. Couldn't see a way out. He sits back down. Then someone helped me. A guy from my church. Gave me a place to stay. Helped me find work. Didn't ask for nothing back. What happened to him? He died last year. Heart attack. Never got to thank him proper. Darnell looks at her. So maybe I'm helping you for him. Or maybe I'm helping because nobody should lose everything and get called crazy for saying so. Alara's eyes are wet. She reaches out. Her hand finds his. Thank you, she whispers. They sit like that. 2 people who've lost everything. 2 people who refuse to disappear. Outside, a car drives past. Slows down. Stops in front of the building. Darnell watches it through the window. The engine idles. Headlights off. Someone sits in the driver's seat. Just sitting. Just watching. After 5 minutes, the car drives away. Someone's outside, Alara says. How do you know? I can hear the engine. It's watching us, isn't it? Darnell doesn't answer. He doesn't need to. Have you ever helped someone and felt the world watching you for it? Tell me in the comments. The man in the gray suit arrives on Wednesday. Darnell's hauling lumber from his truck when he sees him. Standing on the sidewalk. Watching the building. Writing in a small notebook. Their eyes meet. The man smiles. Puts the notebook away. Walks toward him. Mr. Rowe? Darnell sets down the 2x4. Who's asking? Marcus Chun. I'm a private investigator. He pulls out a card. Darnell doesn't take it. I'm looking for a woman named Alara Monroe. I believe she may be staying with you. Don't know her. Really? Because several neighbors mentioned a blind woman with 2 young boys. Moved in last week. Marcus tilts his head. That's quite a coincidence. People move in and out all the time. Mr. Rowe, I'm not here to cause trouble. Mrs. Monroe's family is worried about her. They want to make sure she's getting proper care. The family that stole her money? Marcus's smile doesn't slip. I see she's told you her version of events. Her version. Mrs. Monroe has been diagnosed with severe depression. PTSD from the accident. Her doctors recommended intensive care. He steps closer. Her in-laws are her legal guardians. They have every right to know where she is. Darnell's jaw tightens. She's a grown woman. She don't need guardians. The courts disagreed. Look, I understand you're trying to help. But keeping her from proper medical attention? That could be considered kidnapping. The word hangs in the air. Sharp. Dangerous. I didn't kidnap nobody. Then let me speak with her. 5 minutes. That's all I need. No. Marcus's smile finally fades. He pulls out his phone, shows Darnell a photo. Alara, before the accident, standing next to an older white man in judicial robes. Her father. She comes from a prominent family. They have resources, connections. His voice drops. You really want to get between a family and their daughter? I want her to be safe. So do they. Marcus pockets his phone. I'll be back tomorrow. With the authorities if necessary. You should think carefully about what you're protecting her from and what you're protecting her into. He walks away, gets into a black sedan, drives off. Darnell stands on the sidewalk, heart hammering. Inside the apartment, Alara sits at the kitchen table. The twins are drawing with crayons Naya gave them. She's listening to their laughter, memorizing it. Someone came by, Darnell says. Her whole body goes rigid. Private investigator. Said your in-laws hired him. Marcus Chun. Yeah. She closes her eyes. He found me in Charlotte. Made me move. Found me in Memphis. Made me move again. Her voice shakes. That's why I came to Atlanta. I thought I could disappear here. He says they're worried about you. They're worried about the money. My father's trust matures when I turn 30. 3 months from now. If I'm dead or declared incompetent, they keep everything. Darnell sits across from her. He threatened me. Said keeping you here could be kidnapping. She laughs. It sounds like breaking glass. Of course he did. That's what they do. They twist everything. Make the victim look like the criminal. What do you want to do? Run. Again. She reaches across the table. Finds his hand. But I'm tired of running. My boys are tired. And you've already done too much. I can do more. No. Her grip tightens. They'll destroy you. They'll say you kidnapped me. Exploited me. They'll take your daughter. Ruin your life. Tears slide down her cheeks. I can't let that happen. Alara, I'm going to leave. Tonight. Before he comes back. Where will you go? She doesn't answer. Because there's nowhere left. That evening, Naya helps the twins pack their few belongings. She's crying. Trying to hide it. Failing. Why do they have to leave? She asks Darnell. Because sometimes bad people have more power than good people. That's not fair. No, it's not. Alara stands by the door, her bag over her shoulder, the twins holding her hands. She's wearing her dark glasses again, armor against a world she can't see. Thank you, she says, for everything. This ain't right. Nothing about this is right. But it's the only way to keep you safe. She opens the door. Marcus Chun stands in the hallway, 2 uniformed officers behind him. Mrs. Monroe. His voice is gentle, professional. We need you to come with us. Alara's face goes pale. The twins start crying. Please, she whispers. Please don't do this in front of my boys. Marcus nods to the officers. They step forward. Darnell moves between them. You got a warrant? We have a court order. Mrs. Monroe is under conservatorship. She's required to return to her guardian's care. Marcus shows him papers. Legal documents with stamps and signatures. This is all completely legal. Legal don't mean right. Step aside, Mr. Rowe, or we'll arrest you for obstruction. The officers' hands drop to their belts. Naya screams. The twins scream. Alara stands frozen. Mama. One of the boys reaches for her. An officer grabs him. That's when Darnell's phone rings. He answers without looking. What? Mr. Rowe? A woman's voice. Professional. Urgent. This is Sarah Chun from the Southern Poverty Law Center. I'm calling about Alara Monroe. Do not let them take her. Darnell looks at Marcus. At the officers. At Alara shaking in his doorway. Why not? Because that court order is fraudulent. We've been investigating the Covingtons for 6 months. They've done this to 3 other women. Isolate them. Steal their assets. Make them disappear. How do you know about Alara? Her father was a colleague. He made me promise to watch out for her if anything happened to him. I've been looking for her since she vanished. Papers rustle on the other end. Put me on speaker. Now. Darnell hits the button. Sarah's voice fills the hallway. Officers, this is Sarah Chun, attorney with the Southern Poverty Law Center. The document you're holding is under federal investigation. If you attempt to remove Mrs. Monroe, you'll be complicit in kidnapping and fraud. Marcus's face hardens. That's absurd. Is it? Because I have emails, bank records, testimony from 2 other victims who escaped. Her voice sharpens. You're a licensed PI, Mr. Chun. You want to lose that license? Keep standing in that hallway. The officers look at each other. One of them steps back. Marcus doesn't move. You're bluffing. Try me. I've already filed an emergency motion with Judge Williams. She knows Alara's father personally. She's signing the order as we speak. A pause. You have 10 seconds to walk away. Or I call the FBI. 10 seconds. Marcus stares at Darnell. At Alara. At the phone. Then he turns and walks away. The officers follow. The hallway empties. Alara sinks to the floor, sobbing. The twins crawl into her lap. Darnell keeps the phone to his ear. How did you find us? I've been tracking Marcus for weeks. He's sloppy. Leaves digital trails everywhere. Sarah's voice softens. Is she okay? She's alive. Good. Keep her that way. I'm filing paperwork tonight to freeze the conservatorship and restore her rights. But it'll take time. She needs to stay hidden until we can prove what the Covingtons did. How long? Weeks. Maybe months. She can't run anymore. I know. That's why I need your help. Papers rustle again. Can you keep her safe? Just a little longer? Darnell looks at Alara. At his daughter. At the twins. Yeah, he says. I can do that. Thank you. I'll be in touch. The call ends. Alara looks up. Mascara streaking her face. What just happened? You got a lawyer. A real one. I don't have money for lawyers. She don't want money. She wants justice. Darnell helps her stand. Your father made her promise to protect you. She's keeping that promise. Alara's legs give out. Darnell catches her. Holds her while she cries. While the twins cling to both of them. While Naya watches from the kitchen doorway. Later, after everyone's asleep, Darnell sits on the fire escape. The city sprawls below him. Lights and shadows. Good and bad all mixed together. His phone buzzes. A text from Sarah Chun. Thank you for not giving up on her. Most people would have. He types back. Most people never had to fight for their life. She has. Every single day. 3 dots appear. Then, her father would be proud. Of both of you. Darnell looks through the window. Alara sleeps on the couch. The twins curled against her. One hand resting on each small back. Protecting them even in sleep. He thinks about the car that watched the building. The neighbors who whisper. The cops who came with threats instead of help. The system designed to protect people that only protects some people. He thinks about his wife. About the man who helped him when he had nothing. About the choice to drive past or stop in the rain. Nobody's coming to save them, so they'll have to save themselves. The courthouse smells like old paper and broken promises. Darnell sits in the back row. Alara beside him. The twins with Naya in the hallway. Sarah Chun at the front table, sorting through documents that could change everything or nothing. Richard and Patricia Covington sit across the aisle. Designer suits. Perfect hair. The kind of white that's never been told no. Patricia sees Alara. Her mouth curves into something that might be a smile on someone else. On her it looks like victory. She looks terrible. Patricia whispers to her husband. Loud enough for everyone to hear. I told you she wasn't capable. Alara's hands shake. Darnell covers them with his. Breathe, he says quietly. The judge enters. All rise. Judge Williams is 60. Black. Sharp eyes that miss nothing. Be seated. She looks at the paperwork. Then at the Covingtons. Then at Alara. This is a hearing to review the conservatorship of Alara Monroe. Ms. Chun, you filed the motion. Proceed. Sarah stands. Your Honor, my client was placed under conservatorship under false pretenses. The Covingtons claimed she was mentally incompetent due to her blindness and grief. They used that conservatorship to steal her inheritance. That's absurd. Richard Covington's lawyer interjects. A man in a suit that costs more than Darnell's truck. Mrs. Monroe suffered severe trauma. We acted in her best interest. By evicting her. By taking her money. By hunting her across 3 states. Sarah's voice cuts. My client has been homeless for 7 months because of your best interest. The judge holds up her hand. Ms. Chun, what evidence do you have? Sarah opens her briefcase. Pulls out a folder. Bank records showing the Covingtons transferred Mrs. Monroe's assets to their personal accounts. Emails discussing how to manage her disability. Testimony from 2 other women they did this to. She slides the documents across to the judge. Judge Williams reads. Her face doesn't change, but her jaw tightens. Mr. Covington, she says. You want to explain these transfers? Richard stands. Smooth. Confident. Those were legitimate estate management fees. Mrs. Monroe signed over power of attorney. We acted within our legal rights. She signed documents she couldn't read, Sarah counters, while grieving her husband, while learning to navigate blindness. You exploited her vulnerability. We protected her from predators. Patricia stands now too. Points at Darnell. Like him. A strange man who took advantage of a disabled woman. Who knows what he's done to her. Darnell feels every I turn to him. Mr. Rose saved my life, Alara says. Her voice shakes, but doesn't break. He gave me shelter when I had nothing. He protected my children when your investigator tried to take them. Because you're incompetent, Patricia snaps. You can't take care of yourself, let alone 2 toddlers. That accident destroyed your mind along with your eyes. The accident killed my husband. Alara stands. Takes off her dark glasses. Her eyes are scarred but open. It didn't kill me. No matter how much you wish it had. The courtroom goes silent. Judge Williams leans forward. Mrs. Monroe, do you wish to terminate this conservatorship? Yes. And you understand that means managing your own affairs? Your own finances. I have a degree in business administration. I ran my husband's cafe for a year after he died. I can manage just fine. She's delusional, Patricia says. She lost everything because she couldn't cope. She lost everything because you stole it, Sarah corrects. And we can prove it. The Covington lawyer stands. Your Honor, my clients acted in good faith. They took on the burden of caring for a difficult woman who refused help. They shouldn't be punished for compassion. Compassion? Alara laughs. It's cold. You told me I was crazy. You had doctors declare me unfit. You made me sign papers in Braille that said something different than what you told me. She turns toward their voices. You killed me on paper so you could steal my father's legacy. That's enough, Judge Williams says. But she's looking at the Covingtons now. I'm ordering an immediate freeze on all assets. Full audit. Mrs. Monroe's conservatorship is suspended pending investigation. Patricia's face goes red. You can't do that. I just did. And if I find evidence of fraud, you'll both face criminal charges. She turns to Alara. Mrs. Monroe, you'll need to prove you can manage independently. That means stable housing, steady income, proper care for your children. I can do that. With what money? Your assets are frozen during the investigation. Silence. Alara's confidence cracks. She sits down. Sarah leans over. Whispers something. Alara shakes her head. Your Honor, Darnell says. Everyone turns. He stands. She can stay with me. Till this gets sorted. Mr. Rowe, you're not family. You have no legal standing. I got a spare room. Steady job. Clean record. He looks at Alara. And I got no reason to lie to her or steal from her or make her feel crazy for existing. Judge Williams studies him. You understand what you're offering? The scrutiny you'll face? I already faced it. Let them look. The judge nods slowly. Very well. Mrs. Monroe, you'll remain in Mr. Rowe's care while we investigate. You'll meet with a court-appointed social worker weekly. Prove you can parent your children. Prove you can manage basic affairs. She looks at the Covingtons. And you'll cooperate fully with the audit, or I'll hold you in contempt. She bangs the gavel. The hearing ends. In the hallway, Patricia Covington corners Alara. Darnell moves to intervene, but Sarah stops him. You think you've won? Patricia hisses. You think this changes anything? It changes everything. No. It delays the inevitable. You're blind. Broken. Alone. She leans close. And when the investigation clears us, when the courts see you for what you really are, we'll take those boys. We'll give them the life their father wanted. The life you can't provide. Alara doesn't flinch. My father was Judge Alistair Monroe. He spent his life fighting people like you. People who think power means you can destroy whoever gets in your way. Her voice drops. I'm his daughter, and I learned from the best. Patricia's face twists. She walks away. Richard follows. But he looks back once. At Alara. At Darnell. Like he's memorizing their faces. Outside, the sun's too bright. The twins run to Alara. She kneels. Touches their faces. Counts their fingers like she does every morning. We won, one of them asks. We survived, she says. That's enough for today. Sarah walks them to Darnell's truck. The audit will take weeks. Maybe months. The Covingtons will fight every step. They'll hire investigators. Dig into your life. Mr. Rowe's life. They'll look for anything to use against you. Let them look, Alara says. They'll make it ugly. It's already ugly. Sarah hands Darnell a card. Call me if anything happens. Anything at all. These people are dangerous when they're cornered. They drive home in silence. The twins fall asleep in the back. Alara stares out the window at a world she can't see. Thank you, she says quietly, for standing up for me. I told you. You don't have to thank me. Yes, I do. Because most people wouldn't. She touches her wedding ring. Still wears it. My husband used to say the world breaks everyone. But some people get stronger in the broken places. You believe that? I have to. They pull up to the apartment. Mrs. Chun from 3B stands on the stoop, arms crossed, watching. Here we go, Darnell mutters. But Mrs. Chun doesn't scowl. She walks over, hands Alara a container. Made extra soup, she says. For the boys. Alara takes it, surprised. Thank you. My nephew was wrong about you. I was wrong about you. Mrs. Chun looks at Darnell. You're good people. Both of you. She shuffles away before they can respond. Inside the apartment, Naya's made welcome home signs with the twins' names. She set the table, made sandwiches, trying to make everything normal. Did you win? She asks. We're still fighting, Darnell says. But we didn't lose. That night, after everyone's asleep, Alara finds Darnell on the fire escape again. She climbs through the window, sits beside him. Can I ask you something? She says. Yeah. Why did you stop? That night in the rain. You could have driven past. He thinks about it. About Shanice dying in a hospital bed. About the man who helped him when he had nothing. About all the people who drove past when he was drowning. Because somebody stopped for me once, he says. And I'm still here because of it. They sit in silence. The city hums below them. Sirens in the distance. Life happening everywhere. I'm scared, Alara admits. Of what comes next. Me too. But you did it anyway. So did you. She smiles. It's small but real. The first genuine smile he's seen from her. My father used to say courage isn't not being afraid. It's being afraid and doing it anyway. She touches his hand. Thank you for being brave with me. We're being brave together. Below them, a car slows. Stops. Watches the building. Different car. Same intention. Darnell stands. Come on. Let's go inside. But Alara doesn't move. She's listening to something he can't hear. They're not going to stop, she says. I know. They'll keep coming. Keep pushing. Keep trying to break us. I know. And one day they might win. Darnell looks at her. At this woman who's lost everything and refuses to disappear. Who stands straight even when the world's trying to crush her. Maybe, he says. But not today. They go inside. Lock the door. Check the windows. Tomorrow they'll fight again. But tonight they're safe. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. The social worker arrives on Monday morning with a clipboard and judgment in her eyes. Ms. Peterson. Sarah Chun makes introductions. She's here to assess the living situation. Ms. Peterson is 50, white, the kind of tired that comes from seeing too much or caring too little. She walks through the apartment like she's looking for evidence. Where do the children sleep? She asks. My room, Naya says. We share. All three of you. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Peterson writes something. Doesn't look up. And Mrs. Monroe? The couch, Alara says. It's comfortable. A blind woman sleeping on a couch in a strange man's apartment. More writing. How do you navigate? Do you need assistance? I've memorized the layout. 12 steps from the couch to the bathroom. 8 to the kitchen. Furniture doesn't move. And the children? How do you supervise them when you can't see them? I listen. I touch. I know their voices. Their footsteps. Every sound they make. Alara's voice stays level. I've been blind for 2 years. I've learned to adapt. Adaptation isn't the same as capability. Ms. Peterson walks to the kitchen. Opens the fridge. Mr. Rowe, you work construction? Yes, ma'am. Long hours. Sometimes. Who watches the children when you're working? I do, Alara says. Alone? Yes. More writing. Ms. Peterson's pen sounds like a judgment with every stroke. Mrs. Monroe, have you considered that your disability might put the children at risk? The room goes cold. Excuse me. Alara's hands tighten on the armrest. You can't see if they're in danger. Can't drive them to a hospital in an emergency. Can't read warning labels or instructions. Ms. Peterson's voice is clinical. Professional. These are legitimate concerns. I've kept my boys alive for 2 years. Homeless. Hunted. With nothing. Alara stands. I've never once let them go hungry or cold or hurt. My blindness doesn't make me incompetent. It makes me more careful. Careful isn't always enough. Sarah steps in. Miss Peterson, Mrs. Monroe has never had a CPS complaint. Her children are healthy, well-adjusted, happy. Her disability is irrelevant to her parenting ability. That's for me to determine. Miss Peterson closes her notebook. I'll be back next week. I want to see how the children interact with her, how she manages daily tasks. Mr. Rowe, I'll need references from your employer. Proof of income. Background check. Already have it, Sarah says. Hands her a folder. Ms. Peterson takes it. Doesn't open it. I'll be in touch. She leaves. Silence fills the apartment. Heavy. Suffocating. She's going to take my babies, Alara whispers. No, she's not, Sarah says. But her voice lacks conviction. You saw how she looked at me. Like I'm broken. Like I'm dangerous. She's doing her job. Her job is to find reasons to take children from their mothers. And I just gave her a list. Alara sits. Puts her head in her hands. I should have stayed invisible. At least then my boys were mine. Darnell kneels in front of her. Hey, look at me. She does. Eyes unfocused but present. Your boys are yours. Nobody's taking them. You hear me. You can't promise that. Watch me. That night, Darnell calls his boss. I need next week off. We're in the middle of a job, Roe. I know, but I got something more important. More important than your paycheck? Yeah. Silence on the line. Then, you get 1 week. After that, I replace you. Understood. He hangs up. Finds Alara in the bathroom. She's running her fingers over the twins' clothes. Checking for tears. For stains. For anything Miss Peterson might see as neglect. What are you doing, he asks. Making sure everything's perfect. Making sure they can't find anything wrong. Alara, I have to be perfect. Don't you see? One mistake and they win. One stain on their shirts. One missed bath. One moment where I'm not paying attention and they'll say I'm unfit. Her hands shake. I can't lose them. They're all I have left of him. Darnell sits on the floor beside her. Takes the tiny shirt from her hands. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be their mother. And you already are. She cries. Silent. The way she always does. Like she learned not to take up space even with grief. The week crawls by. Darnell watches Alara with the twins. Sees how she counts their steps when they run. How she touches their faces to check for fever. How she knows which twin is crying before he makes a sound. She's hypervigilant. Exhausted. Running on fear and love. On Thursday, Naya comes home from school crying. What happened? Darnell asks. Kids were saying things. About Miss Alara. About why she's here. Naya wipes her face. They said you're dating her. That she's trying to replace mom. Darnell's chest tightens. Baby. I told them they were wrong. That Miss Alara needed help. But they just laughed. She looks at him. Daddy, why do people have to be so mean? He doesn't have an answer. That evening, someone spray paints homewrecker on the building wall. In red. Big letters. Impossible to miss. Darnell scrubs it off at midnight. Alara sits on the stoop. Listening to the bristles scrape concrete. I'm destroying your life, she says. You're not. Your daughter's being bullied. Your neighbors hate you. You might lose your job. Her voice cracks. All because you stopped to help someone in the rain. I'd do it again. Why? Because it's right. Right doesn't pay bills. Right doesn't protect your kid from gossip. He stops scrubbing. Turns to face her. My wife died broke because the system failed her. Because insurance companies value profit over people. Because hospitals charge $50 for a tissue and call it care. He throws the brush down. I couldn't save her. But I can help you. And if that costs me something, fine. At least I'm spending it on something that matters. Alara's quiet for a long time. Then, your wife was lucky. To have someone who loved her that much. I'm the one who was lucky. They sit in silence. The city hums around them. Indifferent to their pain. On Friday, Ms. Peterson returns. This time with a supervisor. Mr. Rowe, the supervisor says. We've received complaints. About your relationship with Mrs. Monroe. There is no relationship. She's staying here temporarily. Neighbors report seeing you together. Often. Some have suggested inappropriate behavior. Darnell's blood boils. Because I'm a black man and she's a black woman living under the same roof. The supervisor doesn't blink. We have to investigate all reports. You understand. I understand you're looking for an excuse to take her kids. Mr. Rowe, attitude like that doesn't help your case. Sarah intervenes. My client has done nothing wrong. These complaints are coming from the Covingtons. They're using social services to harass her. We still have to follow protocol. The supervisor looks at Alara. Mrs. Monroe, are you in a romantic relationship with Mr. Rowe? No. Has he ever been inappropriate with you or your children? Never. Do you feel safe here? Safer than I've felt in 2 years. Miss Peterson writes everything down. The supervisor watches Alara carefully. We'll need to interview the children. Separately. No. Alara stands. They're 3 years old. They don't understand what's happening. Don't traumatize them because you're looking for dirt that doesn't exist. If you refuse to cooperate, I'll cooperate. But you don't interrogate toddlers. Not without me present. The supervisor's jaw tightens. We'll be in touch. They leave. Alara collapses onto the couch. This is never going to end. Sarah sits beside her. The audit's almost done. Once we prove the Covingtons stole from you, CPS will back off. And if they don't, then we fight harder. That night, Darnell finds legal documents taped to his door. Eviction notice. The landlord wants him out in 30 days. Lease violation, it says. Unauthorized occupant. He crumples the paper, throws it across the hall. Alara hears it. What was that? Nothing. Don't lie to me. He tells her. Watches her face crumble. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry. Stop apologizing for existing. But I'm ruining everything. They're ruining everything. The Covingtons. The system. People who think power means they can destroy whoever they want. He sits beside her. You didn't do this. They did. She leans against him. Just for a moment. Needing the contact. The reminder she's not alone. What are we going to do? She asks. We're going to win. How? I don't know yet. But we will. Outside, the car's back. Watching. Waiting. Darnell closes the curtains. Locks the doors. Checks the windows. Tomorrow they'll fight again. Tomorrow they'll find a way. But tonight, the walls are closing in. And he's not sure how much longer they can hold them back. The audit results come back on a gray Tuesday that smells like rain. Sarah calls at dawn. Voice tight. We got them. Darnell's in the kitchen making coffee. Alara's on the couch. Both frozen. What did you find? Alara asks. Everything. Forged signatures. Fabricated medical reports. 3.2 million transferred to offshore accounts. Papers rustle through the phone. They've been doing this for years. You're the fourth woman. The only one who survived to fight back. Alara's hands shake. What happens now? Emergency hearing. Today. Judge Williams wants everyone in her courtroom in 3 hours. They scramble. Naya stays home with the twins. Darnell drives while Alara sits rigid in the passenger seat. What if it's not enough? She whispers. It's enough. What if they have lawyers who make it disappear? What if the judge doesn't care? Judge Williams knew your father. She cares. But his hands are tied on the wheel. Because he's seen the system fail before. Seen justice bend toward power. Seen good people lose because the rules were written by bad ones. The courthouse is packed. Media trucks outside. Reporters shouting questions. Mrs. Monroe, did you know about the fraud? Mr. Rowe, are you dating Mrs. Monroe? Is it true you were homeless? Sarah shields them. Gets them inside. The hallway smells like fear and old wood. Richard and Patricia Covington stand near the courtroom doors. Their lawyer beside them. But something's different. Patricia's makeup is smudged. Richard won't meet their eyes. They know they're caught. Judge Williams takes the bench. Face carved from stone. I've reviewed the audit. Reviewed the evidence. And I'm appalled. The Covington lawyer stands. Your Honor, there are explanations. Sit down. 2 words. Final. Mrs. Covington, Mr. Covington, stand. They do. Slowly. You exploited a grieving widow. Forged documents. Stole millions. Hunted her across state lines. Judge Williams' voice could cut steel. You used her disability as a weapon. Made her doubt her own sanity. Tried to take her children. We were protecting her, Patricia says. Voice small now. You were robbing her. And you got caught. The judge looks at Alara. Mrs. Monroe, your conservatorship is terminated immediately. Full control of your assets restored. Emergency custody of your children confirmed. Alara's breath catches. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank Mr. Rowe. And Ms. Chun. And yourself for surviving. Judge Williams turns back to the Covingtons. You'll face criminal charges. Wire fraud. Forgery. Exploitation of a disabled person. Expect federal prosecutors to contact you. Patricia starts crying. Richard stands silent. Their lawyer's already packing his briefcase. We're done here. The gavel comes down. In the hallway, Alara leans against the wall. Legs shaking. Sarah catches her. You won, Sarah says. It's over. Is it? The money's yours. The conservatorship's gone. Your boys are safe. Alara slides down the wall. Sits on the marble floor. Puts her head in her hands. Darnell crouches beside her. What's wrong? I don't know how to do this. How to be a person again. How to trust that it's real. One day at a time. I don't even have a place to live. Yes, you do. My couch. Till you figure it out. She looks up, eyes wet behind the dark glasses. The eviction notice. I'll fight it. We'll figure it out. Sarah clears her throat. Actually, about that. She pulls out more papers. Part of the settlement includes immediate access to emergency funds. Enough to secure housing. Pay Mr. Rowe back for his expenses. Start over. Alara takes the papers, runs her fingers across them. Can't read them, but holds them anyway. How much? 50,000. The rest is still tied up in probate. But it's a start. $50,000. Enough to breathe. Enough to survive. Alara stands. Straightens her spine. I want to pay Mr. Rowe for letting us stay. No, Darnell says. Yes. You lost income. Faced harassment. Almost got evicted. That's worth something. You don't owe me nothing. I owe you everything. Her voice firms. Please. Let me do this. Let me have some dignity. He wants to argue, but he sees her face. Sees how much she needs this. Okay. Outside, reporters swarm. Cameras flash. Questions fly like bullets. Sarah handles it. Professional. Calm. Mrs. Monroe has no comment at this time. Justice has been served. They push through to Darnell's truck. Drive away while cameras chase them. The silence in the cab is thick. Alara stares out the window, seeing nothing, feeling everything. I keep waiting for someone to take it away, she says. Like it's a dream. It's not a dream. How do you know? Because nightmares don't end this clean. There's always more fight left. She laughs. It sounds like crying. Is that supposed to be comforting? It's supposed to be honest. They get home. The twins run to Alara. She kneels, touches their faces, counts their fingers again. We can stay, one asks. We can stay, she says. With Mr. Darnell? She looks up. At Darnell, standing in the doorway. At Naya watching from the kitchen. At this place that became home when she had nowhere else. For a little while longer. That night, after the kids sleep, Alara and Darnell sit on the fire escape. The city glitters below them. Different somehow. Less hostile. More possible. I'm going to find an apartment, she says. Something accessible. Near good schools. Start rebuilding. Yeah. And I'm going to hire a therapist. For me and the boys. Process what happened. That's smart. And I'm going to find the other women. The ones the Covingtons hurt. Help them if I can. Darnell looks at her. You're going to be okay. I know. She pauses. Because you showed me I could be. They sit in comfortable silence. Not quite touching. Not quite separate. Can I ask you something? She says. Always. That night in the rain. When you saw us. What made you stop? He thinks about it. About all the moments that led to that one. About Shanice dying. About the man who helped. About every person who looked away and every person who didn't. I saw you standing there. In the rain. With your boys. And you weren't asking for help. You were just trying to survive. He looks at her. Made me think about all the times I needed help and didn't ask. All the times I thought I had to do it alone. And nobody should have to survive alone. She reaches over. Finds his hand. Squeezes it. Thank you. For seeing me. For stopping. For giving me back my life. You gave it back to yourself? I just held the door open. Below them, the city hums. Cars pass. People walk. Life happens everywhere. 2 weeks later, Alara signs a lease on a small apartment 3 blocks away. Ground floor. Accessible. Safe. Darnell helps her move in. So does Naya. So do the twins. Mrs. Chun brings soup. Sarah brings legal documents finalizing everything. The apartment's empty except for donated furniture and boxes of new clothes. But it's hers. She runs her fingers along the walls. Memorizing. 12 steps from the door to the kitchen, she says. 8 to the bathroom. 10 to the bedrooms. She's mapping her new world. Making it familiar. Making it home. Naya hugs her. We'll visit. Every day if you want. I'd like that. The twins explore. Opening cabinets. Testing light switches. Being kids in a space that's theirs. Darnell stands in the doorway. Watching. Feeling something shift. You okay? Alara asks. Yeah. You. Getting there. She walks to him. Stands close. I never thought I'd say this again. But I'm happy. Terrified. But happy. Good. I wouldn't have made it without you. Yeah, you would have. Maybe different. Maybe longer. But you would have. She shakes her head. No. I was ready to give up. That night in the rain. I was going to leave my boys at a church. Hope someone kind found them. Then walk away. His chest tightens. Alara. But you stopped. And you saw me. Not my blindness. Not my situation. Just me. Her voice breaks. You gave me a reason to keep fighting. You were already fighting. I was surviving. There's a difference. She touches his face. Gentle. Memorizing him the way she memorizes everything important. Thank you for teaching me I deserved more than survival. He doesn't know what to say, so he hugs her instead. She holds on tight, like she's afraid to let go. When they pull apart, she's smiling. Real. Genuine. The kind of smile that starts in the soul. Go home, she says. I need to start building my life again. And I need to do it myself. You sure? No. But I'm doing it anyway. He leaves. Walks the 3 blocks home. The street feels different. Lighter somehow. That night, his phone rings. Mr. Rowe? This is Judge Williams. His heart stops. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to thank you. Personally. Alistair Monroe was a good friend. A good man. He worried about what would happen to Alara after he passed. Her voice softens. You gave him peace. Even though he's not here to know it. I just did what needed doing. Most people don't. Most people look away. You didn't. A pause. The legal community is watching this case. What you did. How you helped. It's going to inspire others. I wasn't trying to inspire nobody. Just trying to keep someone safe. That's why it matters. Papers rustle. I'm putting together a task force to find other conservatorship abuse cases. Help victims recover. I want you to consult. Ma'am, I'm a construction worker. I don't know nothing about legal stuff. You know what it looks like when the system fails. When people need help and don't get it. That's the expertise we need. She pauses. It pays. Not much, but enough to cover the income you lost. Darnell looks at Naya asleep on the couch. At his small apartment. At the life he's built from nothing. I'll do it, he says. Good. Ms. Chin will be in touch. 3 months pass. Alara gets a job at a nonprofit helping disabled women navigate legal systems. She's good at it. Better than good. She understands the fear, the shame, the way the world makes you feel invisible. She helps 4 women escape bad conservatorship. Connects 3 others with housing. Starts a support group that meets weekly. The twins start preschool. They're thriving. Happy. Loud. Everything kids should be. Darnell works with Sarah's task force. Consulting. Sharing his story. Helping investigators understand what red flags look like from the inside. They identify 12 more cases. Win 8. The other 4 are still fighting. Naya makes honor roll. She writes an essay about heroes. It's about her dad and Miss Alara. About how helping people isn't special. It's just right. It wins a district award. On a Saturday in March, Alara invites them over. She's made dinner. Badly. The chicken's dry and the vegetables are mushy, but it's hers. She did it herself. They eat anyway. Laughing. The twins tell jokes that don't make sense. Naya teaches them card games. Darnell does dishes while Alara dries. I've been thinking, she says, about starting a foundation in my father's name to help people fight conservatorship abuse, fund legal fees, provide housing, create resources. That's ambitious. I have $3 million I didn't earn. Seems right to use it for something that matters. She sets down a plate. I want you on the board. Alara, you understand this. You lived it. You know what people need. She turns toward him. Please. He thinks about the man who helped him 3 years ago. About paying it forward. About all the people still drowning while the world drives past. Okay, he says. She smiles. The real one. The one that lights her whole face. After dinner, they sit on her small balcony. The twins and Naya watch a movie inside. Laughter drifts through the open door. I never thought I'd have this again, Alara says. A home. A purpose. A future. You always had it. Just took time to find it. No. I had survival. You gave me life. She reaches for his hand. I know I keep saying thank you. I know it probably gets old. But I need you to understand. You saved me. In every way a person can be saved. You saved yourself. We saved each other. They sit in comfortable silence. The city sprawls below them. Still dangerous. Still broken. Still full of people who need help. But also full of people willing to give it. What do you think happens next? Darnell asks. We keep fighting. Keep helping. Keep showing people they're not alone. She squeezes his hand. What else is there? Nothing else. That's everything. Inside, the twins laugh at something on screen. Naya joins in. The sound fills the apartment. Fills the night. Fills the space where fear used to live. Darnell thinks about that night in the rain. About the choice to stop or drive past. about how one moment can change everything. He thinks about all the people who stopped for him, who held doors open, who saw him when he felt invisible. He thinks about doing the same, over and over, until it's not special anymore, until it's just normal, until everyone stops in the rain. Spring comes to Atlanta with thunder that sounds like forgiveness. Darnell stands in the rain outside a new office building. The sign reads, "The Alastair Monroe Foundation for Justice and Dignity." Fresh, clean, possible. Inside, Alara's giving a speech. He can hear her through the open doors. Strong voice. Clear. No trembling anymore. "My father believed everyone deserves justice. Not just people with money. Not just people who can see or walk or speak. Everyone." Her cane taps the podium. "This foundation will make sure his belief becomes reality." Applause. Cameras flash. Reporters write. Sarah stands beside Darnell. She's good at this. She always was. Just needed a chance to show it. "You gave her that chance." "No. I gave her time. She did the rest." They walk inside. The office is small but functional. Desks, computers, files, everything needed to fight. Patricia and Richard Covington are in federal prison. 3 years each. It's not enough. It never is. But it's something. The other victims they heard have settled. Some sued. Some just took their money back and disappeared. All of them are rebuilding. Marcus Chin lost his PI license. Works security at a mall now. Darnell saw him last month. Their eyes met. Marcus looked away first. Ms. Peterson transferred to another county. The supervisor retired. CPS apologized. Alara accepted. Moving on is easier when someone admits they were wrong. The landlord dropped the eviction after local news ran the story. Suddenly Darnell was a hero. Good publicity. Free rent for 6 months. He took 3, then moved to a bigger place. 2 bedrooms. One for him. One for Naya. Space to breathe. Mrs. Chun from 3B visits weekly. Brings soup. Stays for dinner. Tells stories about coming to America with nothing. About people who helped. About paying it forward. The foundation opens officially in May. Bright day. Clear sky. Perfect. Survivors come. 20 at first. Then 40. Then more. They share stories. Find resources. Get help. Alara listens to all of them. Takes notes in Braille. Connects them with lawyers. With housing. With hope. She's different now. Spine still straight. Chin still level. But something settled inside her. Something peaceful. Darnell watches her work. Watches her rebuild what was stolen. Watches her turn pain into purpose. "You proud?" Naya asks. She's 9 now. Taller. Wiser. Very. Miss Alara says we're heroes. We're not heroes. We just helped. Isn't that the same thing? He thinks about it. About the word hero. How big it sounds. How impossible. No, he says. Heroes are special. What we did should be normal. Naya considers this. Nods. I like that better. At the end of the day, after everyone leaves, Alara finds Darnell in the parking lot. The twins are with a sitter. First time she's trusted someone else. Another step forward. Long day, she says. Good day, though. Yeah. She tilts her head, listening to traffic, to wind, to life. I've been thinking about something. What? That night. In the rain. You asked my name and I hesitated. Remember? Yeah. I hesitated because I'd learned that telling people who I was meant they wanted something. Money. Connections. Access. She turns toward him. You're the only person who heard my name and didn't want anything but to help. I didn't need to want nothing. You needed help. That was enough. That's my point. She steps closer. You saw me as a person, not a victim, not a charity case, not a story, just a person stuck in the rain. You were. I still am. Some days. The rain's just different now. She touches his arm. Thank you for never treating me like I was broken. You weren't broken. You were breaking. There's a difference. What's the difference? Broken means over. Breaking means still fighting. She smiles. The real one. You should write that down. Put it on a poster. Too cheesy. Maybe. But it's true. They stand in comfortable silence. The parking lot empties around them. Day shifts to evening. Light fades but doesn't disappear. I'm dating someone, she says suddenly. Darnell's surprised. Happy. Yeah. Teacher at the boys' preschool. He's patient. Kind. Doesn't treat my blindness like a problem to solve. She laughs. I told him about you. About what you did. He said you set an impossible standard. For what? For what decent men look like. Darnell doesn't know what to say, so he hugs her instead. She hugs back. Tight. Be happy, he says. I'm trying. Every day. She pulls away. What about you? You dating? Nah. Too busy. Liar. You're scared. Maybe. Shanice would want you to be happy. His chest tightens. I know. So let yourself be. She walks to her car. Uses her cane. Moves confidently. Independently. She's hired a driver. Part-time. Another step. Before she gets in, she turns back. Darnell. Yeah. If I could see one thing again. Just one. It would be your face that night. In the rain. When you decided to stop. Her voice catches. Because I think that's what hope looks like. She gets in the car. Drives away. Darnell stands alone. Feeling the weight of her words. The gift of them. His phone buzzes. Text from Sarah. New case. Woman in Columbus. Similar situation. Can you consult? He types back. When? Tomorrow. He looks at the foundation building. At the lights still on inside. At the work still being done. Thinks about Columbus. About another woman who needs help. About the choice to go or stay home. It's not really a choice. I'll be there, he types. That night, Naya's already asleep when he gets home. He checks on her. Pulls the blanket up. Kisses her forehead. In the kitchen, he makes tea. Sits at the table. Pulls out his phone. Opens the photos. Finds the one from 3 years ago. Shanice. Smiling. Alive. Beautiful. I helped someone, he tells the photo. Like you always said I should. Like you always did. The photo doesn't answer. But he feels something anyway. Permission maybe. Or peace. He opens his laptop. Starts researching the Columbus case. Reading. Learning. Preparing. Outside. Rain starts again. Soft this time. Gentle. He walks to the window. Watches it fall. Thinks about all the people standing in it right now. All the people wondering if anyone will stop. Thinks about being the person who does. The rain keeps falling. The city keeps turning. Life keeps happening. And somewhere out there, someone needs help. So he'll go find them. Because that's what you do when you know what it's like to drown. When someone pulled you out. When you learn that survival isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning. He closes the laptop. Turns off the lights. Goes to bed. Tomorrow he'll drive to Columbus. Meet another woman who's invisible. Help her become seen. Tomorrow he'll fight again. For someone he doesn't know. For someone who needs it. For someone who deserves more than survival. Tomorrow he'll stop in the rain. Tonight, he sleeps. Dreamless. Peaceful. Free. Because he knows now what Alara taught him. What Shanice showed him. What life keeps proving. Nobody's coming to save you. So you save each other. One person at a time. One moment at a time. One choice at a time. You see someone drowning. You stop. Every time. No exceptions. No excuses. You stop. And maybe, if enough people stop. If enough people help. If enough people choose to see instead of looking away. Maybe the rain stops feeling so cold. Maybe being lost stops feeling so lonely. Maybe the world stops breaking people who've already been broken enough. Maybe. It's not much. But it's something. And sometimes something is everything. The rain falls outside Darnell's window. Steady. Constant. Cleansing. He listens to it. Remembers standing in it. Remembers Alara standing in it. Remembers every moment that led to this one. And he smiles. Because tomorrow he'll help someone else. And the day after. And the day after that. Until stopping in the rain isn't heroic. Until helping isn't special. Until seeing each other is just what people do. Until everyone gets home safe. Everyone. No exceptions. The rain keeps falling. The city keeps sleeping. The story keeps going. Because this isn't an ending. It's a beginning. For Alara. For Darnell. For everyone they'll help. For everyone who'll help someone else because they saw it could be done. The story spreads. Ripples. Grows. And somewhere. In another city. In another storm. Someone else will stop. Because someone showed them how. That's how it works. That's how it changes. That's how we survive. Together. Always together. The rain falls. The world turns. The story continues. And we keep stopping. Keep helping. Keep fighting. Until everyone makes it home.